Hey, welcome to the big program. I'm your host, Sebastian Noel. I got to explain something. You may hear some music during the show today. And it's not that the show has gotten so big that we have a house band. That's not the case. It's the opposite, actually. We've gotten so small that we're in an upstairs studio in downtown. This is a city building with the city studio. They're filming something with music. And so it's not that we have a house band, although my guest today is that good that he deserves a house band. We'll get to that in a moment. Before I get to that, I want to talk about last week's show. First of all, thank our audience for making that the most viewed show of the season so far. But I did get some viewer mail about last week's show, so I wanted to pull out some of the highlights, okay? So just a couple. I'm going to read a couple. This is kind of what, probably a lot of what Kyle had to deal with, and now I got to deal with some of it too. So we'll start with the first one. I'm not going to say this person's name on the air, but he starts with, "You're an idiot," and so is your guest. So strong start there, okay? "You guys are what's wrong with this country." Well, you know about all that, you know. I could think of a few more things wrong. "You shouldn't talk to him about politics. He's a kid." Well, he's actually a young man going to college. And college, my friend, is where most people go to expand their horizons and grow their minds. So it was an entirely appropriate segment, okay? Another guest opined with, "It's a shame that small-town kids are so brainwashed." Well, that kind of proves the point we were trying to make of how much hate he's been getting. But I did want to highlight one good one. A friend of the show, Grady. If you're from Albuquerque, you know Grady. He calls in to radio a lot. He's a big Pecos Panthers fan. He sent me a real nice note saying, "Hey, man, we're coming from two different places, but you ever come down to Pecos for a basketball game, you stay at my house." So, Grady, we're coming to Pecos, my man. Thanks for all the support. All right, my guest this week, this is kind of a big deal. As you know, I went to Del Norte. Our director, Josh, went to Del Norte, so whenever we have a guest that goes to Del Norte, it's a big deal. Like, I wear my clean polo shirt, the whole 9 yards, everything. And my guest this week is Judah Casaus of the Del Norte Knights. Judah, welcome to the program, man.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I've been I wanted this to coincide with the beginning of basketball season, but I really don't know if we're going to have a basketball season. So I said, well, let's just talk anyway. And let's start there. Let's start with Del Norte hoops, Del Norte basketball. You came in as a freshman last year, you and Shane.
Yes.
And, you know, maybe not with all the fanfare at the beginning of the season, but you guys probably the best two freshmen in the state, in my opinion. So talk about that, man. Well, like, was it just that easy going right into varsity sports? You made it look easy. But...
I mean, I've always been playing up, like, as a kid growing up, like, playing with my older brother, Giovanni. But just... like being a freshman on varsity, it was a big thing, like it was a big role to have, but I just took it. Me and Shane, we just had that, like, I don't know, we always had that, I don't know what word, but as going into the freshman year, I think.
No, you could see your chemistry out on the floor. Like, you guys, it never looked like the moment was too big for you guys. Like,
yeah.
Is that something that came right away, or I mean, obviously we didn't go to every Del Norte game. So were there some early games where you guys played like freshmen and I just didn't see those?
A little bit. I got a little shocked a few games, like some big games, but I think as a freshman I did pretty good. Me and Shane, we had that like bond, and I think I stepped up a few games for like defense, scoring. I think it was pretty good.
What's it like playing for Coach Mack from an outsider? Man, I love, you know, I'm a Del Norte guy, and you know, when I started PA announcing is the last time Del Norte was actually good. And so there was a long stretch where they weren't. And then Coach McIntosh gets there, and it looks like, I mean, and I'm not on the inside, so you guys can take us to the inside, but you guys just go all out. It seems like he gets the most out of all his guys. What's that like?
It's great having him as a coach because he's also young. He knows the game. Like playing over there, I like it, honestly. It's really nice.
Now, you mentioned how young Coach Mack is. Like, does he still get out there and like school you guys, or like how does that go?
Personally, I don't think he's gonna beat me, but
Because he could guard too.
Yeah,
I remember when he played
he's
at
still really
Cueva,
good.
he could guard.
Yeah, but he gets in practices sometimes. He gets in there, hops in.
Is it easier as a player to have a coach that can still get on the floor and show you exactly what to do?
I think a little bit, because like say if some of our players need help, he could just hop in. I think it's pretty good.
And let's go through that freshman year. You guys play in the toughest district in the state in that classification, with all the in-town teams plus Bernalillo. What was that like, getting into district play and every night's a game?
It was very fun. A lot of competition, like playing against Valley, Hope. It was Highland. Those are some big games. Those are really good teams, and just being mentally prepared for those games. Just you have to be ready for every single game and like what's gonna happen. So I think just as being a freshman on varsity doing that, it just built my mental game just to be ready and prepared.
What's it like? You're playing at that classification, so you get to play some of the 5A, 6A teams, and obviously they go into Del Norte. Do you guys play with the chip on your shoulder?
Oh yeah.
Because they go into Del Norte like, oh, this is the smaller school in town and all that mess. Like I've heard the stuff that's said.
Yeah.
I've heard it back then. Like, do you guys play with that chip on your shoulder?
Yeah, every single game we go into the game just thinking come on, they think that like we're not no good team, but every single game we have that chip on our shoulder, ready to play, just ready to kill every single team.
When did you feel like you had a breakout moment there your freshman year?
Yeah, as one of the like reasonings of going, like my friend Shane, we worked really good together, and I think we both had a really good breakout season, but I think my season was pretty good defensively, offensively, just helping out the team. I think I had a pretty good freshman year.
All right. We're going to take our first time out. I do want to talk about some other things in that first year, and then we'll kind of talk about where your athletic background started from. We'll be right back with Judah Casaus.
They haven't gone back to more. Racknell still in there. Throwing on the post pattern. Caught. Down. What a catch at the 25-yard line. That's just a great catch by number 1, Drake Owen.
Single running back. And West does get the ball, and he has wide open lane. Let's see if he can make it. He punches it in. Did they get it? Yes! Touchdown, Ben West. Franco hands the ball off. Nice hole for a nice run. He breaks one, breaks two. Touchdown!
Second down. Smith. Plenty of time. A little pump fake. Fires in. He's going for Connor O'Toole to the end zone.
Fowler the play fake, throws it out to Colson on the screen. Colson breaks the tackle. 20, you might be going to the house. Touchdown Mustangs.
Third down and 16. Medford gonna throw it, throws it out. The receiver slipped. The ball is picked, and back to the north side we go. And this could go all the way back for a touchdown and into the end zone.
Set far side for Bell. She couldn't put it away. Sharp over the block. Salas. Ray. Hit over by Cheshire. Sharp again through the block. Looking to set Bell on the far side. Gonzalez Sanchez digs it out. Jones will push it to Sharp. That's been her spot, but they're scrambling and still alive. Now it's going to come over. Salas gets it there. Jones. Gonzalez Sanchez, Sharp will have another swing. Just barely able to get it back over. Great defense for Pius. They'll try Wallace on the other side. Yes!
Play fake. Throws. Oh, what a catch by Reggie Colson. Boy, he got whacked and still came down with it.
Handoff goes right side. Breaking some tackles and more. Off to the races. Still on his feet into the end zone. What a
middle of the field. One of the most impressive things you will ever see.
Here's a quick slant, and look at the speed by Altier. Can anybody catch him? A foot race. Altier. What an answer.
Back with tonight's Judah Casaus, I wanted to wrap up some things about your freshman year. Now, you said you had a breakthrough moment that you kind of talked about. The break, I was always a fan of your game, obviously, being friends with your dad and having watched your brother Gio at Valley, so I'd always kind of watched from a distance. But the breakout game for me was that playoff game, when you guys were just getting the ever-living hell kicked out of you guys at the pit. And, there is guys that are, the body language is bad, it's Brick City.
Yeah.
But then something just kind of clicked, and you just had steal after steal, after making play after play. Other end, you hit the bucket. Did that, am I over-exaggerating that? That's kind of when I think I remember calling your dad after the game saying, oh, this is the real thing. On this stage, when you're getting your ass kicked so bad, to step up and play like that, this is the real thing. Did it feel like that?
Honestly, not really. I was just going in, playing every game just to play, have fun. But in that point, I'm just going to hustle and just do as best as we can. And I think I was helping out our team a lot by getting those steals, making plays, and I was waking up our team, because I feel like our team was kind of breaking apart right there. And especially in that big stage, I think our team was just down. Right. So I think just having that little spurt right there just to help them, I think I don't know. I think it was pretty good.
How much is did you play as much as you thought you would as a freshman? I think what I love about Coach Mack, especially and it suits your game so well, especially your freshman year. But you're a maximum effort guy, so Coach Mack will run you out there. You give maximum effort, then he gets you out, runs you right back out. Is it hard to find a rhythm that way? But it seemed like it fits your game so perfectly.
I think it was really good because I'm always going into the game just ready to have that killer mentality and just go and play. So whenever he takes me out, I'm just ready to go back in, just do good for the team.
All right. So let's backtrack a little bit. The question you've probably answered a million times is why didn't you go to Valley like your two-time state champ brother, Gio Casaus?
We always talked about it as we were younger, always Valley going to the same school or whatever. But I think as we got older, always playing together or all that, I think we just decided to maybe just go separate ways, try something new. And also, I had a really good chemistry with my friend Shane Dumas Sanchez. And going into our freshman year, I thought it was going to be really good for us two just to have and going through the next 3 years for our high school, I thought it was just a really good decision to go there and be coached by Coach Mack.
All right, you've probably had a lot of practice with that because I know you get asked that a lot.
Yeah, all the time.
So I know. All right, let's go all the way back. You're a pretty athletic kid, right? So what other sports did you play when you were young?
As a kid, I was always being active. I played baseball, soccer, football for a while. I recently stopped just right before I went into high school. I did wrestling. Those are just some of the sports I played.
So did you have a favorite there when you were growing up? Was it always basketball?
I think football and basketball were the main two. I love playing football. Exodus Ayers, that now goes to La Cueva. Me and him were really good teammates. But I think basketball, I just wanted to focus and just do that as we got into high school. And I think that was probably my number one sport.
Now, other than basketball, which one of those were you best at?
Football for sure.
Now, we did find something that you're not great at. There's not a lot, but I noticed out of all those sports that you mentioned, you didn't include golf. So, Josh, if you could roll that footage that we were able to secretly acquire, and Judah, you can take us through this here. There's no audio on this, so we'll talk over it.
All right.
But we're getting it. Hold on, here we go. All right, okay.
Oh,
See, you kind of crushed that.
That
so
was
that
a good
was
one.
beginner's luck. Okay, even
No.
your dad was shocked. So you're looking at the screen in amazement there. Look. Okay.
Oh.
So I think you got points on that one.
That was a really.
Okay, but that was beginner's luck. I know what that's like because I get beginner's luck too. But
you're
take us
pretty
through
good.
this next one now. Watch.
Oh
Okay,
boy.
This one's not. What do you think?
see,
What are you
let's see.
thinking right here?
I don't know. I'm not that good at golf. I've kind of played a few times, but I just shanked the ball.
The good news is your basketball coach is also the golf coach, right?
Yes. Maybe
So
I might play.
maybe he'll give you some pointers. All right, so like first of all, your athletic career almost wasn't to be because you jumped off a roof when you were 4 years old.
Oh yeah.
Tell us about that.
Being as a kid, I was always the most like crazy kid. I was a daredevil like out of our family. Everyone just called me like crazy. I don't know. I just always thought like just to do it, just go out. Jumping off the roof, it was pretty crazy. It was pretty high, but I just did it.
Are we talking like 1 story, 2 story? What are we talking here?
It
Single
was-
family home,
it was
double
like-
family home? Like
Yeah,
what are we talking about?
double family home.
Oh,
It was
those are
off
big.
Yeah, it was off of the little balcony.
Okay,
It was
alright.
pretty high.
Okay, that's not good. Like,
Yeah,
so
it's-
you got all that stuff out of your system though now.
Yeah.
All right,
no
that's
more
good.
of that.
So let's talk family a little bit here. I mean, obviously, you have a 2-time state champ in the house, so there has to be some competitive juices flowing there,
Yeah.
right? So tell us about that.
As my brother won the state championships, then he would start telling me stuff. But like just every single day, he doesn't really mention it. Sometimes if I start telling him something like, "Hey, I could beat you 1-on-1," he's like, "You're talking to a 2
Flashes
times."
the rings?
Yeah, he flashes the rings at me, and I'm like, "They're coming."
That's a big deal though, right? Because 1, it serves as motivation,
Yeah.
right? But 2, also, like your games are a little different, right?
Yeah,
I think was that fair to say? How are your games different?
I could say that we both play really good defense. Growing up, I think he got me on the shooting, but I was always hustling and getting steals. Scoring a little bit, that came more after of the defensive side, but that always came, and I think I'm just
Okay,
better off
so
now.
like 1-on-1 now, like tell us that story.
1-on-1. I think I'm beating him 1-on-1 right now.
Okay. All right. By like how many?
We've played a few times. He's probably beat me like 1 out of 3. But I think I'd beat him about like, I'm saying 11-5.
Okay. All right. Okay. Rapid fire questions here. All right.
Let's see.
Better jump shot, you or your brother?
My brother.
Okay.
I'm
All
saying.
right. Better 1-on-1 defense, you or your brother?
Me.
Okay.
For sure.
all right. Better car.
Gio.
Okay.
Yeah, he has a better car.
Better with the ladies.
Me for sure.
Okay. Better grades.
We both have pretty good grades.
Tie. Okay.
Tie.
Well, who upsets your parents more?
Gio.
Okay.
Gio
That's-
does.
that is as even as it gets. That's
Almost. Yeah,
that's-
we're pretty close.
That's
I
as
don't-
even as it gets. All right. Well, we want to talk about club ball when we get back. Okay, we're gonna take our last time out here, but kind of you've been forced to kind of make your name playing away from Del Norte because
Yeah.
there hasn't been any high school sports. So we'll pick that up when we get back with Judah Casaus.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili, breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide Coaches Award Program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game.
Back with Del Norte Knight, Judah Casaus. So we got to get into club ball because unfortunately, I mean, and yes, I'm biased because I'm a Del Norte guy and I'm a fan of your game. But like, I got to say that probably not having a season this year probably hurts you more than almost any player in the state, because I truly believe that this would have been your absolute breakout year. Like, people were starting to know at the end of the year last year, but this was the year for you to just break out, start locking people down. I see a Defensive Player of the Year award in your future for sure. But, you know, that high school stuff's kind of on the back burner right now. I mean, we'll talk about that a little bit later. But so you've had to make your name playing club ball. Talk about that.
I play with New Mexico D1. We've been New Mexico, you can't really play over here, so we've been traveling a little bit. We've going to Phoenix, Las Vegas, Denver. So I think that playing over there has helped me a lot because it's a lot of competition out there in different states rather than here. So I think coming back, it's been like a major setback, but I think playing has helped me a lot because once I come back here, if we get to play a season, I'm ready.
Right. Now, obviously, you put a lot of work in during the summer, because from the last time I saw you to the end of that Highland game to the next time I saw you, like a couple months ago after I was golfing with your dad, like you had bulked up. Like, what is your mom feeding you, and what kind of postseason workout plan did you have? Because you've bulked up a lot.
I mean, I go to the gym every single day. I'm lifting, I'm working out. So eating pretty good. I think that was a big thing. I started like shakes, just trying to get, and I take roll after my brother because he helps me. He helps me like that.
So I mean, that's pretty special too, that you've already established that work ethic as a freshman. Like, you know that the biggest growth happens in between seasons. Yeah. So where has you think that biggest growth in your game happened between your freshman year and where you're at now?
I think early as Corona began to start, when the gyms were closing, everything like that, I was at the park. I was at our local park in our neighborhood every single day, grinding, doing sprints, doing some workouts. So I think that was a big separation from me to kids my age now or even older. I think people got like a little lazy off of like, oh, we don't need to work out, there's no gyms. But I was at the park every day working out.
I've asked this to some other guests during COVID. Now, is it easier to put the work in now since there's nothing else to do, or is it harder because you've got to kind of find another way and be self-motivated?
Oh no, I think I love working out. I really do that for a living. Like, I really love it. So I think it's not a really big problem for me. I love waking up every day, doing school, and then working out.
So obviously the travel, you know, that makes it a lot more competitive than just in-state. So, yeah. I mean, talk about some of the tournament. I know you guys got some good publicity at that Arizona tournament. Talk about that a little bit.
It was really good. We played let's see, Mikey Williams, he was out there. I'm sure a lot of people know who he is. But we play up, like, I'm sure you know Daraje from El Dorado.
Right.
Yeah, like
friend of the program, former guest.
We played like in a post-grad tournament, so like it was a lot of prep schools. So I mean, a lot of older competition. That's helped me. So I think, and I'm doing pretty good out there. So I think it was pretty good. And
I mean, how does that help you? Like, I guess what I'm asking, the differences between club ball and high school. I can certainly help develop your offensive game, right? But what's the transition? Like, okay, if you were to stop playing club tomorrow and your high school season started, what's the change in mindset? What's the change period?
Taking more leadership, because on travel basketball, like you got to be a leader out there, and like it's kill or be killed. So like just being more of a leader and coming into the high school season, like taking over more and just being more of like that number one player and just being a leader.
When you start to look at some of those rankings from the club ball and, you know, those websites out there, you know, that they rank like upcoming freshmen, upcoming sophomores, your name finally starting to get mentioned, as it should. Yeah. You've earned that. Does that put added pressure? Do you take that as a, as an added chip on your shoulder?
Yes, definitely. I take it as motivation because I know that there's a lot of people out there working to try to like get to that and just knock me out there. So I think I just take it into motivation and just work even harder to maintain it and just get to the #1 spot.
Now, what do you guys have to do to like that trophy case at Del Norte? It's got a lot of dust. I mean, that thing is dusty. That might be the dustiest trophy case in the city. And I can say that because I went to school there.
Yeah.
So what do you guys have to do to, I'll be honest, they might not even have the locks anymore. They might not have the keys anymore. Who knows if the principal even has the key to those.
I know.
But what do you guys have to do to get a trophy in that trophy case? That dusty, old, broken down trophy case at Del Norte. What do you guys have to do to stick a blue trophy in there?
I mean, our team's been working out all the time. We have a lot of people who take the initiative to work out. I think just being hustling. A lot of teams this year are going to take us as the underdog. Or we got to be the underdog. So I think just hustle every game. Just be smart with the ball, move it around. Like I think just some of those key things will help us to put that blue trophy in that dusty case.
It's dusty. Do you ever walk by there and just?
We'll get it to you.
Next, now, every time you walk by there, you're gonna think that's dusty.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So, a guy that prides himself in defense. I don't know if you watch the program religiously. I hope you do. But we had a guest on earlier in the season, and I asked him because I consider you the top of the top when it comes to defensive players. I asked him if he would drop a bunch of points. Well, let's take a look. Josh, throw that up there. I'm going to throw this one out there. I'm going to throw a little challenge out there for you, okay? Maybe we'll bet, like I'll bet dinner for you. I'll buy you dinner or something. You go over or under 25 against my boy Judah Casaus?
Judah?
Yeah. Because that guy can guard. He can guard, man. Give him some love.
No, he's a good defender.
He can guard.
It was funny, too, when you said the best defenders. I was right when you went up to the next
my guy.
question, I thought of Judah.
So that's my guy. You're going to go over or under 25 against Judah?
That's like my best friend, but
okay.
He knows me. We go one-on-one all the time at the gym. So
how's
I'm going to go over. He knows, hey, that's my boy. He knows
all right, well, there was that little chuckle at the beginning, and as a defensive player, I would take offense to that.
Yeah.
Like, what did you think of that little chuckle when I asked him the question? Like, that was some sort of joke question.
I was a little shocked because we do play a lot. We go to the gym a lot. We're pretty good friends, so we did play each other, but I don't remember the scoring.
The AAU doesn't count like that. Everyone scores stuff.
Yeah.
So in a high school season, is my bet safe with Amar? You're gonna lock him up, right? Like.
Yes.
Like, I mean,
double
digits. I'll give him double digits,
Yeah, double digits.
But like over 25, I don't see that. Like, you think I'm safe there?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You gonna take care of me there? All right.
I'll lock it.
But if you need extra motivation, you just watch that show because that little chuckle he gave right after the
No,
question.
yeah, me and Amari, we're always playing. He's like my best friend.
Who's the toughest guy to go up against now? I know you guys play with Amari a lot. You guys go with Exodus a lot. There's some upcoming freshmen that are pretty good. So you're in the middle of your club ball season. Like, who's hard to go against right now?
I'd say like in high school right now.
Yeah.
Probably Trey Watson. He's really good. We've practiced. Because we're on the same travel team kind of. He's really good. Nate Hasbury, his other teammate, they're really good. Let's see, Deuce. He's really good from Las Cruces. I'd say Jaquan Hill. He's pretty.
Right.
Yeah, he's pretty strong.
One guy that's like you pride yourself as a defender. Who's the toughest to guard in the city right now? Like, you're going to have your work cut out.
I'd say...
You can just say none. I'm good every night.
Yeah, I'd say none.
Good answer. Good. That's why my man is going to put a trophy in that old, raggedy, dusty case at Del Norte. So, I mean... I think I'm going to lock everyone up. Yeah. Coach Mack, I don't know if anyone even has the key to that trophy case anymore. If not, we'll just like punch it through or something.
You're gonna have to.
But we're going to have to find that key. Judah, man, I'm a big fan.
Thank you.
Good luck. Bring us that blue at Del Norte, and thank you for watching, everybody, and good night.